Alrighty, y'all. So I was going to do some exercises with Josiah, but he really does not want to today. So I'm just going to hold him and I'm going to snuggle on him. But I am going to answer some questions that a lot of you guys asked me. And they're actually really good questions that I haven't answered yet and no one has really asked me. Alrighty, y'all. Someone asked me if his syndrome affects his stomach. It doesn't just affect his stomach, it affects everything. His ability to hear, his ability to see, his stomach, his brain development, his mobility. The older he gets, the more he's going to lose the ability to see better, the ability to hear. Now, the ability to walk, once he gets there, crawl, he doesn't really lose those. They tends to become difficult, but he doesn't lose that. The way he feeds, meaning if some of them do need GJ tubes, G tubes, some of them can feed by mouth and then have the tube in place and feedings at night. It all depends on the child. He carries the ARID1B gene and he sits on it pretty severely, if that makes sense. He's falling asleep in my arms while I rock him, and I just honestly, I love doing this with him. The other question that was asked was, have we tried some baby foods? We have. He retches and he gags, and we actually were told by GI not to do that again until he had his swallow study. He was silently aspirating as a baby. We don't think he's aspirating anymore. The only difficulty that he might have is like the really floppy airway and the bifid epiglottis, because his is just very fat and stubby. So it's like short. That's why he arches back a lot the way that y'all see him. That was another of the questions that I saw that no one has really asked me. And I was like, oh my God, that's a good question. Another of the questions I asked were, can we make our own food and give it to him through the line when he's older? I'm not 100% sure. GI said leave him on the Neo K Junior for now. He's getting all of his nutrients, everything that he needs off of it. So he's the one that actually said we're not going to do anything. We're not changing formulas. He also has a very big, severe allergy to dairy as well. Someone asked me, does his mouth get dry since he doesn't get anything by mouth? No, it doesn't. I've never really had a problem with it. The only thing I do put on his lips is chapstick. I do have to put chapstick on his lip because sometimes they get a little bit dry, especially like when he gets colds. But his mouth never dries out. Now, if he goes under anesthesia, I have noticed that when he wakes up from it, his mouth is like very like cotton mouth. It's very, very dry. He can't swallow. So then we have to sit here with these little sponges the hospital gives and, put the water in there and make sure we get it all nice and moist. One of the other question was, does Josiah feel hunger since he gets fed through the small intestine? He does not. That was honestly one of my biggest fear, putting him on the GJ, because I was so scared he was going to feel hunger. I didn't want my baby going through that. But he does not. GI explained to me that he will not. The pediatricians at the hospital explained to me that he will not. And he does not feel hunger at all. Someone said it makes no sense how he has to be fed through the small intestine, but be giving meds through the stomach. I already stated that he could take a couple hours being fed through the stomach and tolerate it before he gets super sick. Meds have always been given to him by, through the stomach, through the G port. Feeds have been always given through the J port. That's just how it's always been. He could tolerate his meds. They've never been a problem where he could not tolerate his medication. Syndrome is very, very rare. It's hard to find mamas to connect with. I have found a couple mamas here on Facebook and TikTok ever since I started, educating people on his syndrome and just sharing his story, and I have been able to connect with some moms, and I absolutely love it. There's a mom on here that I follow. She follows me. We text, we talk. Life with Mara, I believe. Some of you guys follow her. She's amazing. Her son is doing amazing as well, and it's nice. It's really nice to connect with moms with kiddos with this syndrome, because it is so rare that you don't really have anyone to communicate and talk about the syndrome with. A lot of people tend to say, oh, we don't do anything with him. This is us right now. I'm cuddling my baby, and he's probably going to sleep on my chest until he wakes up because he's just so cute. I don't know. I just love doing this. I love being a mom. I love being his mom. Absolutely changed my life for the best. And if you guys have any other questions, just let me know. I am happy to share.